Okay, so are we here to make a living or design a life?
Design a life.
All right. Who's excited about doing a business plan?
Yeah.
Maybe one, okay? I think I'm the only one. We have to spend some time planning, okay? My next door neighbor decides to park this ugly truck right next to the side of my house, which, whatever, I probably violate CC numbers, but I'm not going there. So I said, I'm just going to plant a bunch of plants there so it'll grow up and I'll be fine. So I called my gardener friend and I said, hey, I need a wall of plants there. Plant them all there, fast growing ones so we can make it happen, okay? I'm busy, I don't have time to plan it, right? So just make it happen. So I come home and there's like 13 plants planted on the side of my yard, about this big.
10 years from now.
They're like uneven, some are a foot apart, some are 4 feet apart, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm all mad at myself, okay? I'm just, this is horrible. And then I thought about, what did I tell him to do? Plant some plants. And I thought it was a great analogy for our business plan because you have to plan things out. I don't like to. I don't like spending time on the business. I really don't. I have to force myself to do it. But it's time well worth, okay? I don't want you guys having like pretty shreds all over the side of your house, okay? Now I've got to look at them every day. Although I'm doing Miracle Grow, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Today we're going to do a book giveaway. Who's here to the book Raving Fans? Anybody?
What's that?
Do you guys see how thick it is? That's John and I's mentality level, okay? It'll take you about an hour and a half, 2 hours to read, okay? This is one of the best books I've ever read on customer service, okay? There's basically 3 principles to this book. The first is decide what you want, okay? That's really what we're doing in our business plan today, right? We're deciding what we want. The second is discover what your customer wants, right? Pretty complicated. The third is deliver +1 service, okay? And this is about a fairy godmother named Uncle Charlie. There's a little golf in it, a little bit of everything. It's a great story. I highly encourage everybody to read this. Today I'm going to ask a secret question at the end, and whoever gets it first gets this copy. Is that fun?
Yes.
All right, book giveaway. And let's see here. You all got your CDs?
Yes.
The one we just put out, you should all have one. I got a couple extra if you didn't. How realtors can generate 50 leads per month. Okay? It's an audio CD. Plug it and listen to it. It's by 2 realtors. It's not lenders telling you what to do. 2 practicing realtors that have very, very successful. And they walk through step by step. It's fun. They're not great speakers. You'll hear it on the CD. But the content is very, very good. So have you guys been listening to the ones we've been handing out?
Yes.
Is it worthwhile?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to test you on it, all right? What was our last one? How realtors create raving fans, right?
Yep.
You guys listen to that little simple systems they had? You guys remember any of those systems? How to wow the client, things they're going through? All right, I'm going to start testing you now. No homework, but I want you guys to listen to these audio CDs. If you listen to a couple of them and don't like them, just tell me, and then I won't give you any more. But it's really good stuff. I've listened to them over and over and over again. Even though these were designed for realtors, I steal some of the stuff. Okay? So they're talking about how to wow the client, things to do. The biggest one, this one lady liked, I thought was interesting, was, does anybody here do customer surveys or client surveys at the end? I think that's always a great idea for your clients to see how you did. This lady does them at the walkthrough. And she was saying at the title company, usually it's not a good time. So at the walkthrough, she walks them through. I mean, how are your clients usually excited at the walkthrough? I mean, that's usually the best time, right? Not always, but usually. It's almost mine. So she goes through and she goes, hey, we'd like to know how we did. And by the way, there's some forms on here if you know anybody else, because there's a huge void in my life now that you're gone. All right? My best marketing comes from personal referrals of people that are really happy with my client service. So take this home tonight. If you can bring it back to the signing, if you know of anybody else I can help. Her script was a little different there, but I thought, what a great little nugget. Okay? These CDs are filled with a bunch of little nuggets like this. You may not like them all, but if you pull out 1 or 2 that you like and it makes you more money, it was worth spending 45 minutes listening to it. Okay? And again, you know everybody else in the Corps pays for those CDs, right? If you look at my cheesy label on them, they're copyrighted. Or copied, not copyrighted, sorry. But it's okay, I got permission from the big boys. All right, any other questions on those? We're going to get into the business plan, right? What's the purpose of the business plan?
Direction.
Drive us crazy.
I mean, isn't it kind of to say what we really, really want? Right? What do you want? So, can we have a little fun? The Walt Disney Company, Walt, when he was building his empire, had this room called the Imaginary Room. And when you walked into this room, he'd take all his high mucky mucks in there. When you walked into this room, anybody would come up with an idea, but somebody could say, oh, you can't do that because. So like if somebody said, I want to develop a park where you can fly across the park with no cables, you weren't allowed to say, well, that's impossible, you're defying gravity. It was just an idea room. Okay? So can we do that for real estate right now? Yeah. What would your perfect real estate business look like? Perfect. Right? What would it look like? Give me some adjectives. Let's describe it.
Easy.
Define easy. And nobody say all cash buyers, I'm a lender. Jerry.
All qualified buyers before they even meet.
Perfectly qualified. Really qualified, right?
Pre-qualified, approved.
How about approved?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's play with this a little bit. Can we describe these approved buyers? What else about them? Tell me about these perfect buyers in your perfect world.
They know exactly what they want.
Yeah.
What else?
Minimum
They-
$500,000.
No, they found the house and took you to it.
Say what?
They say bring it.
Come on, let's have some fun.
Ready to make a decision.
What does that mean?
Minimum
Ready to
$500,000.
Oh, $500,000 buyers. Plus. Remember, we're dreaming here.
They
Pre-approved.
found the house.
We got pre-approved.
Found the house on the internet.
Found their own house. Okay. Dude, that actually ties in. Okay, what else?
Underwritten approval.
Oh, this is firm. This is good to go. Oh, yeah, that's a real.
That's
It's so funny. They're pre-approved, they're pre-approved. No. The real one. I got you from an underwriter.
They have friends that need my services as well.
Okay, so they refer you people.
Yeah,
that I assume
immediately. I don't
like
have to ask. They
themselves.
just bring them with them. Yeah, that's a raving fan.
Okay? What else?
They love you.
They love you?
Their expectations are low.
That wouldn't happen. They don't bring their kids.
The family members have duct tape on their mouths.
Okay, how about they have to buy within a month?
Yeah.
There's an urgency factor there.
Emergency.
Like the kids have to get in the school district or something like that.
You said dream. That's not a dream. That's just a hope.
Okay, so this is kind of fun of the perfect real estate model, right? Now, you could obviously do the sellers, okay, and you could go down with their. It's important to think about some of these things and incorporate those into your business plan, okay? Of that book, Raving Fans, the first one is decide what you want, okay? They tell little stories in there, like the department store, the grocery store, that does all these wonderful things, but they won't do film developing. That just doesn't work in their model. Certain things might not work in your model. You may not want to work with buyers. You may not want to work with sellers. You may not want to work with investors. Or you have the ability to decide that because you're self-employed business owners, right? And that's when I think it gets fun. Like I know some people that are really mathematical, and they prefer to work only with investment properties. Okay, they want to figure out cap rates, rental vacancy rates, and all of that. Design your market there. I know some people that only want to work a geographic farm of like a mile, and that's it. They'll memorize every floor plan, everything that goes on with those homes, and only market those. Anything else comes in, they ship it out for a 25% referral fee. So when you guys are doing your business plan, you have the option of doing that, okay? If you looked at all of these, know what the client wants, we can address some of that in a buyer consultation, right? Right up front. $500,000 purchase price, you're going to have to work on that one. Found home on the internet?
Everybody.
You guys, that's pretty much here. Refer people like themselves. These little systems we talk about, people usually refer people like themselves. So when I get a really good buyer, and they're nice to me and they like me, I spoil the heck out of them. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know how you guys are. When I get a demanding buyer who's rude to me and thinks they know more than me or whatever, they don't get the same service. Okay. They love you. I can't help you with that one. We can talk about that one. How do you lower? How do you exceed somebody's expectations?
Under promise or deliver.
Lower them. Okay?
Knowledge.
So here's what this looks like. Kirsten, thank you so much for coming in. I want to tell you, there's never been a better time to buy a house right now, but there's about 90 people involved in the transaction from start to close. Chances are somebody's going to drop the ball. You got the pest guy, you got the appraiser, you got the lender, you got the home warranty, you got somebody's going to drop the ball, okay? But we're going to be there to help get you through it. And you know what they say now because they read the paper so much? Yeah, I know. I've never seen clients' expectations as low as it is now. You know, if I have to call with a delay or something going, yeah, I know you warned me about that, Chris. It's coming up, right? Oh, I know you said we might have to have 3 appraisals on a property. I understand that. Having that communication and dialogue up front can really help that to lower the expectations. All right? Must buy in 30 days. What cures 80% of all business problems? More leads, right? You can cherry pick the good ones. If you can create a lead generation machine and just keep them cranking out, i.e. how to generate 50 leads a month as the audio CD in front of you, that's something worthwhile. Okay? Cherry pick the good ones, refer out the other ones. All right, so any questions on this? Now everybody bought their business plan from last time, right?
No.
Oh, where's the love? I just happened to bring a copy. Did anybody play with the marketing section a little bit? Make sure everybody has one. We got plenty. So when we look at the sample, remember every great company is divided up into 3 categories: marketing, operations, and finance. Marketing is you as a salesperson, operations is you as a manager, and finance is you as an owner. You got to count the money. We have to play all 3 roles. That's a difficult task, but it is what it is. So on the marketing side, we went through last time all the leads and the systems you can do to generate the number of leads. Okay? Trish, I want to thank you so much for coming in. I won't pick on you, don't worry. Trish calls me and says, hey, can I have 30, 45 minutes? I followed some of that, but I want some real clarity here of what I need to do. Trish spends 30, 45 minutes with me. She comes out of there saying, wow. I think she says, wow, you can chime in if you want. I said, so Trish, when we got, at the beginning of the meeting, I said, so how much do you want to make and what's your plan to do it? And she's like, I don't really know. When she left, she said, well, I want to make X amount. I'm going to have an average sales price of $200,000 with my gross commissions of $5,250 a month, or $550,000, $5,250 per deal. I need to close 8 transactions. This is going to net me this. This is where it's going to happen. And my leads for this is, I got 3 categories. I got my database, which I'm going to mail once a month. I got my personal phone calls I want to do to call once a month, and I'm going to do 2 open houses a month. And this is going to generate X amount of leads. So I'm going to generate 15 leads, close 9 deals, make X amount of money. All kinds of clarity got put around there. I believe when we get that kind of clarity, your subconscious goes to work when you're asleep, right? And it makes it happen, okay? Like I did my business plan at night. It's on the steering wheel of my car. It's on my bathroom mirror at home. It's next to my pillow on my bed. I eat, drink, and breathe it, okay? Because it makes me a wonderful life. I mean, it makes things better. It really does. My favorite movie is It's a Wonderful Life with George Bailey. Y'all watch that at least 3 times every year. I love it, I love it, I love it. This business stuff helps my personal life. All right? I used to think my business life and my personal life were different. They're not. They run the same. I don't know why, but usually the better my business life is, the better my personal life, and vice versa. Okay? So we're developing the habits to get some clarity around what you want. So we've got marketing. Now let's look at the operations. Who here likes to manage things? Be a manager. Deal with all the details. All right, 2 or 3. I don't. I'm a salesperson. So when we look on this, we have operation and strategies manager. Who does what? This really is your job description now. That's why this business plan is so powerful to me. It's your vision, your goals, and it's a job description for who does what. So we're going to talk about different job descriptions as you as the realtor. Before we do that, I want to break up in groups of 2 or 3, and I want you to write out a list of what you cannot delegate as a realtor. Okay, so I want you to come up with a list of job descriptions of things you cannot delegate that you have to do as the realtor. Does that make sense? All right, just for like 2 or 3 minutes, break up in groups of 2 or 3 and come up with a list for me. Okay? Or we'll play music.
We gotta make phone calls. We gotta make phone
Okay, so we can show. You cannot
delegate the phone calls.
We know that is our.
So that calls them delegated. No?
I'm okay with that. I'd rather have Jamie, nice to meet you.
I mean, I guess you could
Well, anything that requires a license. But if you have a license, that in and of itself, you could delegate some of that.
All right, everybody have a couple? I have one. There we go. All right, I love salespeople. Come on, that's enough. Cut it off. Hello. Bring it in. We do this like with our operations staff, and we're all like, bring it in, they're all quiet. Salespeople will go on for hours and hours and hours. All right, thank you. I can see everybody was really involved in this. So I want to just have like a roundtable discussion on things that you have to do that you're not able to delegate because we're dealing with the job description portion of your business plan. Does that make sense? Okay. So what are some things we can't delegate? So I put spend your commission. I don't think you want to delegate that.
That's not part of my job.
Okay, now hold
That's
on.
the benefit of it.
So Betty's saying you got to write the contract, right?
If you're gonna put your name on it, somebody else could write it, but you have to put your name on it.
You're going to put your name on it. Okay, I mean, technically, you could have one of your people do it and put it in their name if they're in your team. But yeah, for that standpoint, Betty, write the contract.
Showing homes.
Okay, why do you have to show the home?
Build rapport.
Yeah, that's developing relationship.
Okay, well, the question was that you cannot delegate.
You cannot delegate showing your client the home.
You can't delegate
You're giving out your
communicating with your
lockbox.
client.
You have to have a license.
Oh, hold on.
That's what I'm.
If I pay you $1,000 an hour, will you show my buyers homes?
Sure. I will.
All right, I like it.
But you can't build a relationship.
Make sure that happens.
Well, but that wasn't building relationship, you're right. Okay, so actually I'm going to put that on there. Directly, you can't build or delegate building a relationship. Oh, boy.
But yeah, that's.
Your relationship.
You got to say your relationship. So I'll say building rapport. What else can you delegate?
Negotiating.
Define negotiations.
Well, when you get down to the bottom line of going back and forth with the other agent, that's typically not delegated, is it?
Well, I could hire a listing agent to represent and do it that way.
The big REO agents have negotiators on our hands.
That's true.
Remember, these are things I'm saying you have to do this, but what can't you delegate? So, yep, Jerry.
Personal contact with your
Yeah.
Wow.
Personal contact. I'll put that under building report. I agree. If you're going to do personal contact, yeah. What else?
Letter from the heart, if it's gonna come from the heart, you've gotta write it.
Oh, Betty's trying to get to me there.
Even your signature, you could have a stamp.
I got to give that to Betty. I'm going to give her that one. Otherwise, it's not the letter from the heart.
That's right.
I know people who have copied those, and they do them, and I don't ever do that. That's my own personal thing. If it's all going to call it for me, it has to be right.
somebody else's heart.
Yeah, letter from somebody else.
Delegate that.
What else can't we delegate?
From a heart.
Anything else?
If you wanna get the repeat customers, you have to go to the closing.
Okay, well, that's gonna be under, I'm gonna say building rapport.
Well, that's.
Because I can have somebody attend the closing for me. You guys did pretty good. You guys get a lot more arguing. I mean, usually some kick down, drag down fights, okay? So now that we've established when you cannot delegate, okay?
Wait, I got one more. How do you delegate personal growth?
Define personal growth.
Studying, reading, seminars,
This does a realtor.
tasks? You're talking about tasks?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna say to improve yourself, yeah, you can't delegate that. I'll give you that.
Okay.
That's a very unique, I haven't heard that one, but you're right. I can't send somebody.
Thank you.
All right, now I'm cutting you guys off, because I didn't have a while ago.
I need to look at this and then
So-
maybe put those.
Maybe write that.
We have the blank operation strategies and job descriptions here in the middle and the back, and I've taken the liberty and filled out a couple. Now let's be clear, this is your business. If you don't have an assistant, guess which job description is yours? All of them. All of them.
Oh.
You're cleaning the bathrooms, you're putting the cookies out, you're taking the client around, and when I think about this, if you ever think about what your hourly rate is, okay? How much?
$1.
Some of it feels low prices, it's very low. But if your goal is, say, $100,000 a year, I can't remember, it's like $30 or $40 an hour, something like that, assuming a normal work week. So when I get caught doing things that are $9 an hour types of deal, it bugs me, okay? Because I'm worth 80 or so. Now, it doesn't mean I don't do it. When you gotta do it, you gotta do it, I'm sorry. But if you're gonna plan for what you want, you need to try to put some things in place. So you can do them all, but realize as you grow and get a bunch of business, like when I get a bunch of leads or something, if I don't have a team set up in place, everything else falls through the cracks. Alright? So if you can delegate certain items or have the ability to outsource, like a common one, if you know a receptionist, or an agent maybe who's not busy, or one of your kids, and you're doing a mailer, they can stuff the envelopes. Okay? They can do, I mean, a number of things. I mean, the database. Most people don't have their database put together. You can give them a box of labels or files or whatever, have them input it into Outlook, show them how to do that if you don't have time. Because the end goal for me, and what I think people, is to work less hours, make more money, and have happier clients, right? It's difficult to do that by yourself. Unless you're wanting to make a fairly low amount, which is fine, it depends on your business plan. What's that? $1. So we go through here, like as you, I think you generate leads, you're in charge of that. That would be on the job description. How many do you want to generate per month? That's something hopefully you have from your marketing plan. Write contracts. Got that one for everybody. Perform listing presentations. You can hire a listing agent. Most people aren't going to do that though. Mail out your monthly database mailers, primarily writing. Okay? That's the team owner. That's how I look at you. Now, RP, we call them RP1s and RP2s. These are assistants. Your RP1's like an assistant to do the little stuff. RP2 might be like a buyer's agent, something like that. So if you look at here, we've got Joe, his job descriptions of everything he does. You've got Jim, Real Estate Partner 1, turn in a checklist every day. I've hired a lot of people on my team, and I told you, I am not a good manager, okay? So to compensate for that, I make checklists. So everybody on my team turns in checklists, a daily one and a weekly one. That's how I make sure things get done, because I don't want to sit there and manage them. And I find most people like it, okay? That's much, at first they don't really, not really excited about it, they know what's expected of them, okay? Call 5 people a day. I love this one. People say, well, they can't call your database. Yes, they can. They can follow a script, okay? And I know they're not all perfect, and some of them will go bad, but majority, if I don't have time to call them, it's better they at least hear from somebody on my team. And you can script it. You can say, hey, Mark, this is Jim over at Chris's team. Jim wanted me to give you a call, or Chris wanted me to give you a call and make sure everything's going smooth, see if you had any questions in the transaction, and where you're at with the process. No, everything's good. Oh yeah, you know what? The flyer box has been empty for a week. I don't understand why there's not flyers in there. Great, let me talk to Jim about that. I'll get back to you and let you know where we're at, okay? Even if that's a simple little basic one of just checking in, okay? That's better than no call at all. It's better than no call at all. let's see here. Answer all phone calls, mail 5 CMAs a day to a farm, mail out monthly CMA hot leads, mail out to the database, set 2 phone appointments a week. You could grab somebody and say, hey, here's a list of 20 people. I want you to call them all and tell them I want to invite them to a special lunch any place where they pick. Can they do that?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Chris. Mark just wanted to give you a call. He said he thinks the world of you. I want to know if he can meet you for lunch next Thursday or Friday. You get to pick the place. That's better than you not having the time to do it. Does that make sense? So think about what has to get done, and I find this is very powerful. You don't realize all the things you have to do. So list out here all the things that have to be done. Okay? Try not to cry. Don't do it while you're drinking alcohol. It'll really get depressing. Okay? When you get done with it, circle some you'd like to delegate. Okay? You know what? I'd like to really get rid of this one. Making the open house flyer once I get a listing. I'd really like to get rid of that one. Then you can work on a system to try to put that in place so you don't have to do it, and slowly outsource and delegate stuff. I find the business gets much more fun then. All right? Any questions on operations? This becomes crucial when you build a team, because now you have to be a better manager than you are as a salesperson. But it's a skill worth developing. All right, let's talk about finance. This is counting the money. Okay, the last part. Is this important? We get what we focus on, right? If you want to lose weight, what do you do every day?
Get on the scale.
Jump on the scale. If you want to make more money, what do you do every day?
Count your
Count
money.
it.
Count your money and make more sales calls. So in this scenario, the team goal is 48 closings, 4 per month. Again, we're starting to build that in our brain now to get clarity on this. Average gross profit is $69.09. You have that Realtor GPS from last time to help you figure out yours. This last one, I'm sorry, it's income after split, assuming 48 deals, is $331,000. My partner expense, because I have 2 team members, is $95,000. I put $10,000 in my SEP IRA. This is a little old. So basically, this person's making about $230,000 a year after paying all their team expenses. Okay? Is that a nice model if you have a showing agent and a personal assistant, and you're making $20,000 a month? Right? These are very realistic numbers. I mean, you guys can double check them with your math, but very realistic numbers. And for me, what does your lifestyle look like when you come to work every day and you have a personal assistant and a buyer's agent? Right? That's a more fun lifestyle. It's a more fun lifestyle, but it takes a lot of planning and preparing, talking to other people, figuring out what they do, and copy from them and putting this together. All right? So you have a blank copy in the back. Did everybody get the edible copy, the version? I think Mark emailed it out, correct? Did you guys get that?
Edible?
Edible. You can eat it. Editable. You all have the Microsoft Word document, so you can go through and implement that. Okay? Massage it, print it out. I have it hanging on my wall. It's a big deal. If I do hire somebody, I share it with them so they know what's expected of them and what our goals are.
Sent to us?
What's that?
Mark set it out.
Mark sent it out.
Mark sent it out, right?
Should have it in your email, yeah. It went out
If
with
not, we'll
the
shoot it out again.
announcement.
When did you send it out?
What?
You should
When
be
did you
reading
send it out?
everything.
Monday?
Haven't noticed it.
If not, shoot me an email. My business cards are there in the back. Okay, any questions on the business plan?
Who's in the meeting announcement?
First,
How do you overcome control freak?
I don't
Nobody
think you
does better than
overcome
I
it.
do.
I think you accept it and move on. That's what I've had to do.
That's right.
My team gave me a book. This was about 10 years ago. I had three team members at the time, and for my birthday, they gave me a book called "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff." What the heck is this? I don't sweat the small stuff. What are you talking about? I sweated the small stuff, so I learned to accept it and work around it. So, anything else? Questions on the business plan? This will make a huge difference. I'm telling you, take some action. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, all right? But it's worth doing, okay? Does anyone remember one of the 3 principles of this book?
Decide what you want.
Keep in contact.
Thank you. I was about ready to cry. We do a training just on that book that's kind of fun, too, just to talk about raving fan service. But will you do me a favor, just let us know what you think of that?
Sure.
It won't take you more than an hour and a half, 2 hours for you to do.
Question?
Yes.
Where can you get the book?
Any of the bookstores?
Probably
Barnes and Nobles, Raving Fan,
Amazon.
Amazon.
It's expensive on Amazon.
Chris will buy one for all of us.
There you go.
Thanks, Chris.
Send me a lead, I'll send you a book. How about that?
Okay.
That's pretty cheap, I'm thinking. Okay, any other questions? All right, I had one other thing I was gonna cover, but I don't think I better not cover that. John David, I got a serious issue here. The crowd's doing good, but I don't know if they're ready for the Great Distractor yet. I don't know if we should try to unveil that for the next meeting or two, or should we wait a while?
I think, anybody ever seen the Great Distractor before?
We're ready.
It's the single biggest form, honestly, that's changed my life as a salesperson. It's the single biggest form. So, are we on for normal schedule next week? Okay. So, we're going to cover something called the Great Distractor. I'm going to give you a copy of that, and there's a present for each of you who attend. Okay? It's not a book either. It's green. You know what I'm talking about?
Money?
It's not money.
It's not.
It's not money.
Good.